recorded the other video, and then right after that, I ate the rest of the pudding. That is so satisfying. Oh my goodness, this is so nice. I love this flavor. I gotta get more of that. I have one more, but I can easily go back and get a bunch more. I'm really excited to move this new place because that new HEB is much, much more stocked and bigger. Without further ado, I'm gonna get into this video. Like I said, I'm catching up a little faster than before. I have more energy in my life. I have some of my goals. I just have to keep grinding and then I've hit them. So I have more room in my mind to do more vlogs. So, well, first, real quick, before I get into this, I wanted to show you the update of my little, I really like how it looks. It's got a lot of the copper color showing. I did a video where I sanded, I polished off, sanded off the shiny coating that was on there, which is either nickel or chromium or something. And it revealed the copper underneath, and then I tarnished the copper. And it looks really cool. In the last video I left, and it was like a black color, but that flaked off. Like the tarnish flaked off of most of it and left some copper colored areas and some like gray / black areas. I think it looks really cool now. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Without further ado, this video, like I promised in the last video, is how to be a person you respect. How to be a man you respect. I mean, if you're not a man, then that's fine too. I think my content, I'm not sure. I think it appeals, I would imagine 70-30, 70 men, 30 women. I'm not entirely sure because I'm a very creative guy and creativity is often women, but also a lot of guys. And I'm very self-improving, but a lot of girls want to self-improve too. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure who this appeals to. Guess I could look at my demographics, but not everyone's signed in, so I don't really know. Anyway, how do you be someone you respect? First of all, think about what you did this past week. If there are a lot of moments where you didn't really need to take a break, but you went on the TV and you just sat and you watched YouTube. I love watching YouTube. I watch a shit ton of YouTube. That's why I have this really nice setup with a surround sound system and an Apple TV and a new Apple TV remote. Like, I love YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I watch YouTube a lot. But if you're just watching bullshit on YouTube all the time and it's getting in the way of you doing your stuff, you might not respect yourself that much. Now, if you're watching bullshit on YouTube and it's not getting in the way of doing your stuff, you're as productive as you would be. I think we all need some kind of vice. And if we don't, then that's great. Then you're probably a CEO or you're going to be a CEO or you're just like amazingly productive. But, you know, if it's video games, if you're playing video games all day and not getting anything done and you're not a pro gamer that makes your living off of playing video games or like a Twitch streamer or something or a YouTube or a gaming YouTuber, that's an issue. But if you are not any of those things and you make your money somewhere else, but you play, I don't know, an hour or maybe even two, but probably like an hour and a half video games average per day, then that's not such a big deal. That's fine. Like, you're not wasting your time. The issue is, when does something stop becoming a useful break and start becoming a huge deal? And I'm going on a bit of a tangent, so I'm going to go back to the main point of this is I didn't really prepare. I don't like to prepare. I kind of like to go off the top of my head because then I can think things out loud. But in the end, do you respect yourself? Like, did you completely waste your time this past week, or do you respect what you did? If you were looking at yourself from the outside perspective, do you respect yourself? And that's something that you can't really lie to yourself about. You can lie to yourself on the surface, but at the deep level, there's a feeling that you have about yourself, and that feeling says, I respect myself or I don't. This past week, my trainer said, hey, Joe, your weight's plateauing, so we're gonna cut 200 more calories. I was already at a 400 calorie deficit, now I'm at a 600 calorie deficit, and we're gonna add 10 minutes of cardio every single day. And I'm like, ooh, that's gonna be hard, but you know what? I'm gonna make it happen, because we're in the home stretch here. 10 more pounds to lose. We think, we're not entirely sure, we have to see what I look like. And then I'm at my ideal body, right? My ideal body fat, my ideal body. And, you know, that's probably likely. That'll probably take around 2 months. we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not like set in stone. It depends how my body reacts, etc. But you know what? It was tough, but I did it. As you can see, I bought the new pudding. I bought some other things. I created some good habits to get me to eat the right things that'll keep me full for lower calories and have meet my protein intake per day, so I can grow muscles and not lose my muscle while I lose body weight. And I also went super hard at the gym. I pushed myself further than I wanted to. Not necessarily than I wanted to. I pushed myself further than I planned to. I would go and I'd be like, okay, I'm doing X reps at X weight. And I did like X plus 1 at like X plus 10 weight. And it's like, whoa, yeah, I could do a lot more than I think I can. So this past week, I respect the hell out of myself because I pushed myself to do things. And I started some new habits when it comes to finances and everything. If I look back at who I was this past week, I respect the hell out of myself. And that respect out of myself helps me feel confident that when I decide I want to do something, I can do it because I'm going to, because I have proof. And if you don't have proof, that's fine. Like there was a time, I mean, I've done a video about this in the past, and Andy, one of the guys, like my mentor, he did a video that was of me of my weight loss, and he saw like a video, he put up an old photo of me, a new photo of me. There was a time in my life where I wasn't doing shit for myself. I was eating the worst things. I was doing the worst things. I wasn't exercising. I was playing video games all day. I got good grades in college, but aside from that, I really wasn't doing much for myself. And it really showed. I did not respect myself. I remember this one particular time where it was at the time where I was starting to get off my medication I didn't need and started to get my health back in order. And I had a lot of health debt that I was paying off. And so it was slow going. And I remember there was this moment where I was essentially just like thinking to myself, and I was like, why the hell would I ever trust myself? Why would I respect myself? And it was like the moment where I was kind of like taking the reins of my life, if you will. And it was almost like a visualization I had. Very similar to like what I would encounter when I'm doing some deep psychological work on psychedelics, which is something I do and something that you should only do if you do a lot of research and know the risks and make that decision yourself. But I'm not saying you should at all. That's your choice. But I wasn't on any psychedelics at the time. I just remember like I felt like I was taking the reins of my life, and like my subconscious was like the horses, and the horses are like, why the fuck would we listen to what you tell us to do? Because you didn't take us anywhere cool in the past. Like you took us to this place where you're fat, unattractive, and bitter. Like why would we listen to you? And then I almost had this kind of conversation. Sounds crazy, but I almost had this conversation with my subconscious as if I was like taking the reins of the horses and the horses weren't listening. I'm like, you know what? In the past, I wasn't taking it to the right place. I wasn't very motivated. I didn't have any discipline. My intention right now is to get better, and I won't be perfect, but you know what? Just trust me, and I might lead you in the wrong direction at first, but we're going to get to the right place, and I'm going to be an amazing carriage leader or whatever. And it turned out right. Like I'm a person I respect now. There's some weeks I don't respect myself. There's some weeks I do, but a lot of it is just putting a brick upon a brick upon a brick, and at every moment you have a choice. And your choice is like, say it's like, I have a to-do list. It's like, I don't have to do everything on the to-do list. I'll just, fuck it. I'll just do like 5 things instead of like the 7 that are on there. And it's like, well, that's a choice that you just made. You just chose to take a brick off of your confidence. But if you do it, you chose to put an extra brick on your confidence. And the stronger and the higher you build your confidence, the more you can build. Like it's almost like if you have a step stool, you can only go that high. If you have like an extra rung, you can go higher, blah, 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 blah. If you have an extension ladder, then you can go super high. And so it's almost like every time you do something that reinforces that you're capable, that you can do something, you're adding another rung on the ladder. If you're at ground level right now, that's fine. That's okay. It's good news, because that means that you'd be super motivated to start building your ladder. If you're way up here, then just make sure you don't get complacent, because you could be like, you know what, that's fine. I'll just, stop building it. But then, like, of course, the top rung is gonna get like rotten, and then it's gonna break, and then over time you might go back to the beginning if you stop working on yourself. So you really have to become someone you respect, because if you're gonna build a life you love, you're in your own skin. How can you unchain your passion and live a life you love if you don't respect yourself? Like, it's almost like you go to the store and you're looking for the worst, and you like find the worst outfit, the one that you hate to wear, and you buy like only those, and you throw away all the other clothes. And so every single day you have to wake up and wear something that you hate. Like maybe like me wearing like a pink sequin dress every single day. It's like, why the fuck would I do that? No offense to somebody who wants to wear a pink sequin dress. I don't really give a shit. If you're a dude and you want to wear a pink sequin dress, go ahead. I don't want to wear a pink sequin dress. So me only having pink sequin dresses in my house to wear is just like, that's like you deciding not to respect yourself. You don't like your skin, you don't like who you are, because the things that you do aren't something that you like to do. And again, no worries, if you have like a bunch of bad habits right now and you're starting on your journey to build a life that you love, to unchain your passion and build a life you love, then it's okay to build that slowly. You don't have to go from I hate myself to the next day I respect myself. Even the next month I respect myself. It took me years to learn how to say, hey Joe, I respect you, and really mean it. And that took a lot of bricks to be built up, but every single day I chose to put an extra brick on there, and that's all that matters. Is do you build yourself up, even if it's super slow over time, which is actually probably better, because then you'll be consistent with it, rather than do you just let it go and let weather knock down things that you sort of half built and then left for dead. So I hope this helps you build a strong foundation in your mind of how do you unchain your passion and live a life you love. Subscribe if you want to. I think that would be cool. It would help me out. The more subscribers I have, and put a like on this video too, by the way. The more subscribers I have, the more of this channel will be suggested to other people. The more likes on this video, the more YouTube will be like, well, we should put this to other people, because then they'll watch it and we'll get more ad revenue. So I hope that helps you out. Wishing you the best, and until next time.